I didn't realize how, like, I don't know exactly where it exploded at. So, I'm gonna go right here. Thank you for the follow, Damien the DM. I thought we were following each other. It again. John, you do not say no to cookies. I command you to get them. You totally abjure the hell out of that idea. You're so busy abjuring, you don't even notice Rose has been trying to pester you this whole time. Rose hit John in the head with box to get his attention. You give John a swift drubbing in the noggin, but he is undeterred. That is some fit he is throwing. Perhaps you will take this spare moment to contemplate the Nana Sprite's strange tale. It may also behoove you to record your thoughts on these developments in your game FAQs walkthrough/journal. It can be hard finding time to update it. In fact, you're not even sure where you found the time to write what's already there. Oh, is that so, Jaspers? And just who do you think you're looking at with that smug grin? The last thing you need is sass from a dead cat. It's pretty much all his fault you're in this mess in the first place, so he could just button it. John, cookies, now! You refuse outright. This impudence is insufferable. Go get the cookies. Well, when you put it so politely, how can John decline? John, you're stupid. You really need to work on your manners. Stupid is stupid, Dom. That's not a command. It's nothing. It's stupid. You're stupid. For the last time, I command you to get the cookies, boy. It's just not going to happen, buddy. Years in the future for the last time, I command you, but really not enough to write home about. An agitated finger slips mid-keystroke. Beans, mustard, human etiquette. Game FAQs. B100, the long and short, the medium too. I may have been a bit hasty in advising you not to bother with the prototyping process. If I spared any detail, it was only to optimize your chances of survival. And if you find yourself begrudging the absence of certain instructions, which if followed would have resulted in your demise, then I guess that makes two of us. Otherwise, you're welcome. But the fact appears to be that prototyping the kernel sprite before making your getaway may offer the only opportunity to exercise control over your new environment, a place known as the medium. Also, if prototyped with one or two sufficiently, albeit loosely humanoid or sentient elements, living or otherwise, it offers the chance to have all of this explained to you by an apparitional guide through whatever sort of cryptic, sketchy doublespeak your choice of prototyping elements and genders. In lieu of this, you may be forced to settle for my clear, thorough explanation and assiduous dissection of raw data. Again, don't mention it. If you had made it to the medium with an unmolested vanilla great. Where did I go? Okay. Again, don't mention it. If you made it to the medium with an unmolested vanilla sprite, well, I've already covered the bad news about this missed opportunity, and I will go into this further soon. Though, to what extent this actually is bad news, I'm not sure. I only know the result of my co-player's current configuration, wherein the sprite was prototyped once before the departure and once after. Which brings us to the good news, which is that you could still prototype after your departure and salvage this massively rewarding experience of haggling with an an exposition slinging phantom guide, so long as you avoid prototyping with terribly inert items such as a brass door knocker and your father's pornography collection. Actually, that might be interesting. If you are struck by the spirit of such experimentation, please don't hesitate to contact me about it. Of course, Rose, you would be into some weird stuff. So yes, you can enhance your sprite in this way, but doing so after your departure will no longer induce the effect on the medium I alluded to. That can only be accomplished with one or more pre-departure prototypings. In fact, we can extrapolate. There are only so many ways to prototype a sprite. Tiers of prototyping in relation to departure: both before, one after, both after, only one, either before or after, none. Those occurring before will affect the medium through the kernel sprite's hatching process, and your guide, i.e. the sprite. Those occurring after will only affect the sprite. The effects this process has on the medium, or more globally, the insphere, are still vague to me. They have to do with flavoring the forces you will struggle against, and generally all forces at odds with each other in this realm. It has given me some insight into the nature of the game, which again I derived through extrapolation. We appear to be engaging in an instance of a dimension with a highly flexible set parameters and a series of objectives surrounding an equally flexible mythological framework. This framework seems to begin as a sort of blanket template and evolves with the player's actions, and likely further evolves with the addition of more host/client connections and thus more prototype kernels. I regret to say I cannot be much more specific than that. Without loosely extrapolating further, there are plenty of questions that have occurred to me. However, questions concerning the kernel sprites, which I've raised implicitly already, such as what is the effect of an unprototyped kernel on the medium, or a doubly prototype kernel for that matter, and even more salient are questions about this dimension itself. Do all players worldwide make it to this dimension if they successfully complete their departure, or is a unique blank instance of the dimension created for each new player? I have no evidence, but instinct tells me it is closer to the latter situation. There is no indication of any other players present in this realm. Alterations in the realm seem singularly centered on the actions of my co-player and myself. If I had to stake anything on it, I would guess every separate client/server pair activates its own fresh copy of the insphere, or a unique session, if you will. But the quantity of players is a further complication, which invites more questions. It seems the game was designed to suit two players most naturally, the server and the client, but through a mishap, my co-player and I have slipped out of the obvious tandem arrangement, and the only logical course of action to continue playing is to string a daisy chain of server-client connections together until presumably the chain is complete. Theoretically, we could complete this chain with only one other player functioning as the server to my client and the client to my current player's server, assuming he could recover it. The strange thing is, though, in our instance of this dimension, there are 4 receptacles for divided kernels, not 3. Does this mean we are destined to have a 4-player chain? How could the game know such a thing? Perhaps it does, and if this proves to be the case, I trust I will be sufficiently numbed to the realization. I can consider nothing about this game surprising at this point, and in fact, from the first moments of play, it managed to deviate so far from my expectations that I completely forgot what my original purpose with it was. I had chances to test some information I obtained on good authority during the prototyping phases. but it completely slipped my mind. Instead, the game's catacombs, securing the dark, twisting paths to necromancy, were blundered into rather on accident. But perhaps you don't need to know any of this. Rethink organization lead may be waist deep, logorrheic sludge trimmed down, bleh. She's not finished with this yet. Geez, cut her some slack. Maybe you could go book someone somewhere else for a while, or at the very least someone else. Months in the past, but not many. Hi, happy birthday, Rose. Hello, and thanks. Did you get John's present yet? I just opened it this very moment. What a stunning coincidence you would ask about it now. I'm stunned. Yeah, I know. What will you make with it? And who said it was something from which something else could be made? Well, John did tell me what it was. Duh. I suppose I'll take a stab at learning the craft. It's the least I could do in response to the subtle dig concealed in his gesture. He often tells me I need a new hobby when I make perfectly reasonable analytical remarks. Oh, but Rose, I don't think he meant anything like that by it. You see, not everybody always means the opposite of what they say, the way you and Dave always do. Maybe. His birthday is in a few months, isn't it? Yep, I finally finished a present for him. I've been working on it for years. Years? It's so hard to tell when you're joking or if you're even capable of it. I just mailed it too, so it is sure to get there on time. Mail takes a while to get anywhere from here. I'll probably craft something with strong sentimental value. That should burn him. I don't think you really mean that. I guess not. So shall I expect a green package dropped to my house via airmail from whatever screwball cranny of the globe you're tucked into? No, sorry, but you're sort of hard to shop for. Besides, I have something for you today that I think you will like better than something in a box. Oh, it is a tip. This is already intriguing enough to compensate from the grave scarcity of lavish gifts parachuting from the sky. Please go on. Did you have a pet a long time ago that died? Yes. Okay, well, how do you feel about your cat? Did you love him a lot? Okay, well, I didn't mention it was a cat or that it was a male. Let's pretend I'm surprised and you're embarrassed and move on. To answer your question, I would describe my feelings towards the animal as lukewarm. Okay. That's fine. It doesn't really matter, I think. Just, what if someone told you could play a game that would bring him back to life? If someone told me that, I would regard the remark with a great deal of skepticism. If that someone was you, on the other hand, then I would have to ask preemptively, is that someone you? Yes, the someone is me. I just thought you might find it interesting. So what is this game? Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying is all. I think you'll hear about it later, and maybe you could talk to John and Dave about it. They are way more into all that stuff than I am. I'll see what the word on the street is about it in due time. For now, I should probably order a copy of Knitting for Assholes. It would be a shame if I ran late with John's present. Dave, get katana. You captcha your katana. 2 + 1 + 2 + 1 + 2 + 1 = 9, divided by 10 = 9, and prepare to venture out into the apartment to retrieve your bro's copy of the game. But first, maybe, just maybe, Dave retrieved dead birds. Dude, that bird is long gone. It probably won't last long in this heat anyway. You don't even know what's up with this sick heat. The sun threatens to set but won't step off. It's staring you down like the big red eye of a hot needle skipping on a groove. It's tracing around the earth. While lingering in mid-air, its heat seems to suspend time itself, stretching it like warped vinyl. It's meant to rain this season, but there ain't been a drop in sight. Even a little drizzle would help. Might keep the fizzle, the sizzle, a little bizzle. Set the record straight on this bubble, turn tizzle. So what changed the drizzle, the dizzle? Turn up a little. I got a living room full of fine dime brizzles. Waiting on the pizzle, the drizzle, and the shizzle, G's in the bizac, and now ladies, here we go. So when the pimp's in the crib, mom, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. English romantic poet John Keats, Snoop Dogg. Dave, exit your room and go into the living room. Sorry, little dude, coming through, gotta put you down for a bit. You figure you left him hanging long enough. Dave hastily entered the room with wild abandon. You barge in and see a familiar face, a friendly face. You stand in the little living room. Your bro spends most of his days in here. At night, he crashes on the futon over there. You don't see him anywhere, though. There's a puppet chest he stores little Cal in when he takes him out on gigs, but when he's home, he usually leaves Cal on display somewhere. And with good reason, because Cal is totally sweet. So sweet, man. Dave, pity the fool. It's your brother's Mr. T puppet, which of course is kept in the apartment with a sense of profound humorous irony. But as usual with your bro's exploits, this is no ordinary irony or anything close to a pedestrian tier 1 ironic gesture, which is a meager single step removed from sincerity. This is like 10 levels of irony removed from the original joke. It might have been funny like 8 years ago to joke about Mr. T and how he was sort of lame, but that was the very thing that made him awesome and badass, and that his awesomeness was also sort of the joke. But in this case, the joke is the joke, and that degree of irony itself is also the joke, and so on. Only highly adept satirical ninjas like you and your bro can appreciate stuff like this. It's cool taking stuff that other people think is funny, but you know really isn't, and making it funny again by adding subtle strata of irony, which are utterly undetectable to the untrained eye. Also, for good measure, Mr. T is wearing a leather thong and handcuffed to a pantsless Chuck Norris puppet. God, you hope you could have as good a... Sorry, I'm a little disturbed by bro. God, you hope you could be as good as your bro at this someday. You'd never tell him that, though. Dave, find little Cal and give fist bumps. Cal's nowhere in sight. All you see is a bunch of your bros' weird nude puppets strewn around haphazardly. You guess these things are kind of cool, sort of. Dave, play a game on the Xbox. It looks like your bro was playing. It's not like him to leave in the middle of some totally intense gaming. Not like him to misplace Cal either. Man, you hope the little guy's alright. Oh, there you are, dude. Didn't see you there. We be chill today, Cal? Yeah, you better fucking believe we be chill. Cal is the man. Heart. Dave, resist great urge to play bro's Xbox. You fail to resist the urge. You start thrashing up stunts. Something on a can of brutal on your quest for mad snacks, yo. And get this wave rude hunger under control. Shit is basically flying off the hook. It's like shit wants nothing to do with that hook. The hook is dead to that shit. But you get stuck in some poorly modeled 3D fixture or something like a railing or a piece of the wall. You'll have to reset. Fuck this shit. Dave, give little Cal a bro fist bump. Aw man, you almost forgot. Gotta give the C-Man some props. Dave, check out your bro's sweet gear. Your bro has so much sweet gear, it's hard to keep up with it all. Sometimes, here's his computer setup. He usually got a lot of stuff cooking on here at any given moment. Since he's not around, you might as well sneak a peek. The password's little cow. Dave, look at your brother's computer. Ah, hell no. Your bro's computer is password protected, of course, to protect all the incredible top secret shit he's got on the burners. Of course you know what the password is, and he knows you know it, and you're both cool with that because the password is the most awesome thing it can be. It's little cow. You enter the password. On the desktop is a hodgepodge of unnamed folders to store all the stuff he's working on. No one can decipher his organization system but him. He also tends to use the application Complete Bullshit to keep up with the ludicrous amount of websites and news feeds he monitors to stay hip on the scene. This is complete bullshit. Content art aggregator. This is complete bullshit. Dave, check his Sweet Bro and Hello Jeff has a sweet update. Your bro keeps up with your projects in his aggregator, just like you keep up with his. He's tuned into your various blogs, and of course, Sweet Bro and Hello Jeff. You navigate to the latest comic in which, in one of the many bullshit feed bands. It's a bunch of bullshit. That is the correct title for this web browser, complete bullshit. Dave, mouse over the orange stripe containing plush rump. Plush rump. The soft ass joined hashtag plush rump. Foam friends. Hi, soft ass squivers. Foam prospect. Limp legs. Akimbo. I bet there's a lot of give to that ass. Soft ass. Bounce a coin off of it. It's not going anywhere. Foam friend. Yeah, bet that coin will take a nice nap there. Another one of your bro's many ironic websites. Bro makes puppet porn. This is just puppet smut. Another one of your bro's many ironic websites. The difference here is he rakes in thousands of dollars a month through this enterprise. Smuppets are a multi-billion-dollar-a-year enterprise, and it's awfully hard to resist taking a firm squeeze from the plump udder of that cash cow. Ooh. Dave, stop wasting time and look for Bro's beta. You guess you've messed around on his computer long enough. Better get a move on it before it's too late for Rose. Or worse yet, your bro catches you. But oh my god, the rumps. They're so transfixing. You know, this is ironic and all, and your bro reaches echelons of irony you could only dream of daring to fathom. But on rare occasions, when your guard is down, it all seems just a tad unsettling to you. Cows watching you. Oh. Hey there, cow. Dave gives the little cow a nervous fist bump. Doink. You are sort of starting to flip the fuck out without losing your cool, of course. Dave, Pastor John to ease your nerves. You get Egbert on the line again to give him the lowdown on your progress. You feel it's important to keep the wires hot. But he's not answering. You wonder what the guy is up to. Hey, what is up? What happened with the monster that is totally definitely in your room? Did you kill it? Where are you, man? Anyway, things are cool here. Totally cool. Puppets are still awesome. No problems with them or anything. Like, just really, really awesome. The old iPhone. The old school iPhone. It's so tiny. Looks like Rose is finally logged in again. Didn't John say her house was burning down? You wonder if she's on fire yet or what? That's rude, Dave. Dave, pester Rose. Oh, there you are. John said your house was burning down. Are you on fire yet or what? No, for now I've retired to the safety of a smaller building, which is much closer to the forest fire threatening my residence. Oh, well, that's a relief. John told me to get the game to help get you out of there, so I'm working on that now. Working on it? Yeah, my bro's copy, long story. Hey, don't tell John this, but I think he might have been right about the puppets. They're sort of starting to freak me out a little. You're referring to your brother's collection? I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool and all, the semi-ironic puppet thing or whatever, or semi-ironic. Man, I don't even know. I'm just starting to think some of this shit is going a little far and is kind of fucked up. I've seen his websites. I like them. Yeah, well, you would. Oh man, I wish Lil Cal wouldn't look at me like that with those dead eyes. Jesus, sometimes I dream that he's real and he's talking to me and I wake up in a cold sweat and basically flip the fuck out. Interesting. Oh god, why did I just tell you my dream? You're going to have a field day with that. I'm currently scrawling notes furiously into one of the mini psychoanalyst journals I maintain for you. Published papers forthcoming. Because, you know, it's not like either of us have anything better to do at the moment than to evaluate each other's radically deliberating pathologies. Yeah, I'm gonna get moving. Oh, have you heard from John? He's not answering me. He won't answer me either, but I'm watching him. I suspect he's preoccupied with the fact that he just had a bucket of water dumped on his head by the ghost of his dead grandmother, who also appears to be dressed like a clown. Haha. Alright, I'm out. Later. Seconds in the future, but not many. John, what are you doing? Snap out of it. We ought to discuss what your grandmother just told you, don't you think? Fine, enjoy your super. I'll go about my business elsewhere. Rose, deploy the punch Design X. John, whenever you read this, you should know I put the shale you collected to use and finally deployed the punch Design X. It is in your study. I could only drop it, though. You'll have to be the one to mess around with it and see what it does. When you're finished with your weird histrionics, maybe you could give it a try. I'm updating my walkthrough, and it would help to know what it does. Also, I should probably warn you that your house and yard are completely infested with monsters now. Try to be careful. So I can see, stupid lousy imps, they're mucking up all my cool stuff. Oh, there you are. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm not sure what came over me there. I was acting really crazy for some reason. But my head feels like it's clearing up. I think I'm alright now. John, rebuild the claw hammer and return it to Specivis. You are getting way better at this sort of thing. John, confront Pogo Ride to prepare yourself for Nana. Thank God your sanity has returned so you can entertain extremely rational, coherent thoughts like this one. You examine the Pogo Ride from the bathroom window. You do not like what you see. Oh, that used to be a Flash game. Those son of bitches. No one risks painful injury on your green slime ghost Pogo Ride. No one but you. Rose, drop something heavy on one of those imps. Rose, my piano. Sad face. Sorry, no nuance to these controls at all. I was hoping to bludgeon the imp without letting go of it. Guess I can't really do that. A broken piano isn't the end of the world, though. I guess you're right. You'll need to pick up the spoils in person. I can't interact with the grist, so that means I have to go out the back door? Yes, is there a problem? Well, it may sound dumb, but I was hoping to avoid Nana and her spooky ghost cookies. You're right, that does sound dumb. Can you see her in the kitchen? Yeah, what's she doing? Is she baking? You can say that. Are you sure you can't get the grist to me somehow? Maybe. Rose, use Pogo Red to fling grist through window. Doesn't look like the that grist is going anywhere. You just never know with these gaming apparatus abstractions. Rose, drop Pogo right in John's bathroom. John, get grist. There you go. Now, why don't you check out the Design X? You can do that while I get to work. On what? Piano. Level up for slaying the imp. The piano, in its valiant effort, has unfortunately been slain. But if it hadn't, it would have raked in so many boon dollars. You have no idea. So many. Rose, it's time to build. Nana said to build, so that's what I'm doing. Oh yeah, okay. But this sure is going to take a lot of grist. Looks like you're going to be busy, John. Blarg, well, what are you building? Stairs? They're fairly expensive, actually. Oh man, I could have warned you about the stairs, Rose. I'll try recouping some of the grist from the catwalk I built earlier. It keeps happening. Ah, good. Looks like I could get a refund from earlier allocations. I told you, Rose, I told you about the stairs. Okay, consider me fully briefed on the matter of stairs. Now, if you don't mind, it's hard enough to concentrate on this without immersing ourselves in Strider's non-sequitur. Did you know he thinks puppets are cool? Does he? He's so dumb. Rose, use build grist to construct observation tower on roof. Okay, you obviously don't have enough grist yet for something that ambitious, but you can get started with something of a foundation for upward construction at least. John, check cabinets for imps or useful items. No imps in here, just a lot of shaving cream. Hold up. Water. Okay. No imps in here, just a lot of shaving cream. Dads love shaving. It's basically all they do when they're not baking, that is. And John, bring 2 cans of shaving cream. You capture log 2 cans of shaving cream just in case. You never know when you'll need to bust out a hilarious shaving cream Santa beer to ratchet up your prankster's gambit. Your telescope goes flying out the window. John, ride Pogo ride. It's a little cramped in here for any sort of proper reckless pogoing. You'll just grab it and hang on to it until the right moment presents itself. The towel floats back down to the rack. The circle of stupidity is complete. Rose, check up on Nana Quinn and see what's cooking. Cookies. John, make your way to the study. It looks like the imps have taken a shining to the Crux Shooter, Cruxite and Black Goo everywhere. John, ride a Slimer Pogo and one-up that imp. Well, okay, it's not a Slimer Pogo, but you mount it anyway and brandish your deadly armaments. John, ride your steed to victory. This is incredibly dangerous. John, flip the fuck out. Let's see how they like the old double-barrel lather blaster. Whoops, oh shit. Mr. John respectfully asks that you please stand up. Don't move or the pogo gets it. Now, sir boy, flee from this boorish rabble post-haste. Refrigerator, level up for slaying the imp. The refrigerator skyrockets up the ladder to a new rung. 5-star General Electric and earns a 285 boon dollars. Things are really looking up for this feisty appliance. Well done, John. Polite congratulations. For some reason, you feel a sense of positive reinforcements. Wherever that feeling is coming from, it sure is a welcome change from your erratic moods earlier. Now, my civil fellow, I have a well-mannered query to ask. I blocked the entrance to the study to give you some space to work with the Design X. John Imp's behind you. Should I take care of it? You trapped your PDA again, didn't you? Why did you have to pick up all that stupid shaving cream? So pointless. Rose dropped something heavy on one of those imps. John, might I bother you for a can opener? Obviously, oblivious to the commotion behind you, suddenly you find yourself pondering the whereabouts of a can opener. You think there's probably one in the kitchen, but the path is blocked by a refrigerator. John is completely unresponsive. What the hell is that nincompoop doing? Years in the future, but let's not get totally carried away here. A studious eye darts about a page like a honeybee gathering the nectar of wisdom. Typical human. Please, thank you, you're welcome, good day, how do you do, splendid, and you, gratification, further courtesy, favor of, mutually curried. Munch, munch, munch. Elixir known as tea. Absurd vestige. Fourth digit can be cantivered. Everyone is polite. Munch, 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 munch. The mayor is hungry. The mayor is munching on books. Yum, 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 yum. I can't take Z301 Appendix 3 Screen Captures Part 1. I can't take as many as I like for comprehensive documentation. For what it's worth, here's what I've managed to collect so far. More captures forthcoming. I don't remember if all of these worked. Yeah. Co-player John assesses environment after transition to medium, followed by Sprite. Sans kernel, prototype from once pre-hatch, completely useless in this form. Okay. Severed from suburban grid, house remains mysteriously powered. Convenience presumably facilitated by game, which perhaps deems navigating a powerless house to be a handicap, less in keeping with spirit of game principle statement of challenge. Internet connection remains stable as well, will likely remain stable until the internet itself is compromised by some external threat. Something like, let's say hackers. Kill monsters, get grist, build on to the house, that's the game. Didn't know what the point of this was at the time, floundering, trial and error on exhibit. Unsuccessful attempt at Tier 2 prototyping. Knowing what I know now, I might have avoided using a back-breaking Vade mechium for practical jokesters rife with an antiquated lexicon and racist amphoriums. Either that, or I might have tried harder to succeed. Final screen capture before I lost my internet signal for a time. I don't know what happened thereafter, but when I returned, the car was nowhere to be found and the driveway plateau was in a state of disrepair. The mysteries, will they ever cease? Sprite prototype once more with grandmother's remains. She treats John to some helpful exposition in a friendly and maternal manner. Co-player has displayed inexplicable capricious behavior since arrival. Stress-related contracted virus indigenous to Rome. It should be noted he was kind of a weird guy anyway. Design X deployed, still no clue what this does, at mercy of co-players' foolish prioritization tendencies. Grist payload from slain foe whether I deal the damage or co-player does, yield is same. Though I have a significant advantage in battle, taking measures into my own hands depraves John of hand-to-hand combat experience, which ostentatiously will become more critical later. Building the point, building up where the point sharpened and direct. Steeds, what steeds? Has the whirlwind a home in your mains? Is there a sensitive ear, alert as a flame in your every fiber, hearing the familiar song from above, all in which accord you strain your bronze chest and hooves barely touching the ground? Turn into straight lines, cleaving the air, and all inspired by God, it rushes on. Okay. 13. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck he's doing here. Another one of these things, really, Egbert family, really? A view of his kidnapped father's room. I can't see in here for some reason. Perhaps this is because John himself has never entered the room. It is possible that I could see only in a sense that John could see or has already seen. I've not found the time to discuss this with him yet. If he enters the room, the question may answer itself. Rose, construct a loft above John's room. Ladders seem to be a bit cheaper than stairs. Fellow John, it appears we have reached an impasse. Yes, it seems so. The opener dilemma remains unsettled, most unfortunately. It is unfortunate, I guess. What are we talking about again? It has been a pleasure nonetheless. Thanks for the courtesy. It's not really necessary, but thanks anyway. Oh, but thank you. Please, thank you. Okay. Thank you so very much, dear favorable small primate. I shall take my leave now, John, until next time. Wait, where did all this sweet loot come from? And why is there suddenly a crumpled hat on your head? John Gathergrist examined Design X. Feeling especially economical with your behavior, suddenly you scoop up all the grist in the room and turn your attention to the Punch Design X, all in one fell swoop. The device features a countertop station designed with a keyboard setup. Not unlike an old-fashioned computer, there is a blinking red light and a diagram etched into a panel. Rose, answer Dave. Okay, wait, hold on. Why am I getting this stupid game for you? You're the one who should be wrist-deep in puppet ass. What is this specific problem? The problem is I'm up to my goddamn neck in a fucking puppet dog. You know you like the mannequin dick, except that I am enrobed in chafing, wriggling, god-fucking-damned puppet pelvis. An obscenely long, coarse Kermit cock is being dragged across my anguished face. Let's put this into perspective. You put up with the puppet prostrate because you love it. Also, coarse is a good word. You don't seem to harbor any sympathy for the fact that I've burrowed fuck deep into lively, fluffy Muppet buttock. A moral whirling in the terrible cyclone of the epicenter of my own personal holocaust of twitching foam noses. It's like a fucking apocalypse of perky proboscis here. Like the Procopolis, I guess. Are you going to start rapping about this? What? No. What? No, listen. Prolong a fresh bereft of home, found solace twixt a cleft of foam. No. Oh, Jesus. Of apocalypse your thoughts eclipse a painted pair of parted lips that dare through kiss to stir the air that teases tufts of orange hair. And no faces flush in lovers' fits, hands snug and plush as gloves befit. Okay, Dickinson, if you could shut your perfumey chat for half a second, this is serious. I am just saying, if I see one more soft, bulbous bottom being kind of like jetting out and impudent or whatever, I'm gonna fly off the handle. I'm going to do some sort of acrobatic fucking pirouette off the handle and win like a medal or some shit. Then let's hope there will be a squishy derail somewhere below the handle to break your fall. John observed back of the first visible capture log card. You flip over the top card containing your pogo ride. Anytime you capture log something, a new code appears on the back of the card. You've always wondered what the code was for. Damn, these things are hard to read, but then you never really found any reason to decipher them until now, perhaps. John examined the reverse side of hammer and card in Strife Specialist. Looks like cards from your Strife deck has codes too. John, enter captcha code as seen on back of Pogo Ride card. You enter in the code capital D, capital Q, capital M, lowercase m, capital J, capital L, lowercase e, capital K. Into the keyboard. At least you think that's what the code is. The red light switches off, a green light begins blinking. John, insert card. John, type in lowercase n, capital Z, 7, capital U, lowercase n, 6, capital B, and capital I. In the interest of due diligence, you enter the other code and repeat the process with the card too. Both cards are now punched with different hole patterns. John attempts to retrieve Pogo from card. Oh, well, that should just be a simple matter of, It looks like it's trapped now. You don't see how you can access the item anymore or store a new item there, for that matter. These cards are pretty much useless now, and the items they contain are toast. But maybe all is not lost. Recalling from your experience with the pre-punch card, you may be able to use the cards to replicate the items in question, assuming you got the codes right, that is. John mashed keys heedlessly, not quite through with your cowboy empressism just yet. You mash at the keyboard to generate a random code. You enter lowercase d, lowercase s, lowercase k, lowercase j, lowercase h, lowercase s, lowercase d, and lowercase k. The design X stops you after 8 characters, which appears to be the maximum length for a code. The green light goes on, signaling its readiness for a card. You figured you might as well burn the shaving cream since the product is not exactly at premium in your household. You also figure you might as well merge the 2 cans onto 1 card. You're a little sad that your dad isn't around for this. You have a feeling he would get a real kick out of the idea of duplicating more shaving cream. You punch the card with a pattern that is in no way related to the code for the item it contains. This should make for an interesting experiment. Mad science is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, you just burned another card in the process. Your deck is really dwindling now. Maybe you should have thought this through a little better. On the plus side, you just freed up your PDA, which is overflowing with the pent-up chatter of anxious pastors. Doof. John, answer your tones. Puppets. Awesome. That's really all there is to say on the matter. Turns out TG changed his mood to rancorous. John, I'm about to throw a bathtub through your wall. Watch out. Oh, wow, that was totally unnecessary. I made a shortcut upstairs. I thought it would be a good idea to get you up there and try the cards as soon as possible. Also, you weren't being terribly responsive. You mean these stairs? Man, look at these shitty stairs. They're so narrow. I'm supposed to climb these? They're perfectly navigable. I'm saving on grist for now. If you keep slaying foes, collecting grist, and expanding the cash limit, we may not need to be so economical with our resources in the future. So, why didn't you just build a way up through the hole into my dad's room? Have you ever been in there? No, exactly. Huh? I'd rather not get sidetracked. I'm more interested in further exploring the mechanisms of the game than watching you discover what sort of outlandish harlequin decor your father keeps in his room. Oh, come on. What's the big deal? I'll just climb up and go right through. Will you? Yeah, why not? Are you saying you've never wondered what's in there or why it's been kept a secret from you? Well, I mean, yeah. And then trust me, you won't be going right on through. Wait, are you saying there's something like troubling in there? I don't know. What do you mean? What do you see in there? I can't see in there. Oh. But I don't have a very good feeling about it. Whatever. I think I can handle a few more stupid clown paintings. Rose, move punch cards to John's room. Rose drags some Cruxite dowels up to John's room. John, collect grist, examine safe. You swoop up the bountiful supply of grist generated by your co-player's recent exploits. From now on, it will probably go without saying that you'll nab any grist laying around without making a big fuss over it. You check out the busted safe, which has made a noble sacrifice in battle. Some of your father's odds and ends have spilled out, including some old newspaper clippings and 2 rather hefty tomes. It's a fair bet that these books comprised at least half of the weight of the safe. John, examine Family Tome of Humor. It's another copy of Colonel Sassacre's daunting text of magical frivolity and practical japery. This one looks really old, perhaps an original printing. Could it be the same one involved with your grandmother's unfortunate accident on that fateful day? Dad would never speak a word about it, but maybe Nana wouldn't be so tight-lipped. You give it a cursory perusal. It appears to be similar to your reprinting, listing all the japes and chitnery you have come to know and love. You capture-log it, thinking you may give it a closer look later. John, examine contents of safe. The Fatherly Gent's Shaving Almanac. You take a look at the other book. You're sure Dad thought this was a scantling read, but it looks pretty boring to you. Maybe you'll crack into it someday. When you're old enough to shave, everything in the safe was obviously very important to your father. You wonder why he kept it locked away from you. Some things about him you will never understand. The common hornographer, space rocks knock local verbs block off. Populace oblivious to broader significance of events, assuming there is any, which there definitely isn't. Shortly after 4 a.m. today, a downpour of meteors in a residential neighborhood became yet another instance in a pattern of recent rocky cosmological phenomenon. The incident, aside from property damage and loss of life, was downplayed by authorities as not all that big of a deal. Meteors! Crocker facility leveled. It seems to have been he has been collecting scraps from the news over the years. These articles go back decades. John, look at the piece of paper taped to the wall. Son, if you're reading this, it means you are now strong enough to lift the safe. You are now a man. As such, you are entitled to what is inside. I know you will take this responsibility seriously. I'm so proud of you. John turned the card over. 24913. You guess this is the combination for the safe. This is completely useless. John examined back of capsule log card on floor. You guess these are all zeros, or are they capital O's? Zeros would probably make more sense for an empty card, you think? John capsule logged the card. John, enter code on back of card in Design X. John, punch card. Wait, John, before you punch the... Oh, I was about to say, if you first took note of the code, then removed the card from the card, you could have punched the blank one. You would have only burned one card instead of two. Oh yeah, you're right. Damn it. John, throw hat down in disgust. John, capsule log, punched capsule log card. John, capsule log, punched capsule log card. What? John, take PDA. The 2-card Silodex inventory of dumbasses. John, level up. Pesky urchin. Colonel Sassacre, level up for slaying the imp. The Colonel soars to new heights on his ladder, reaching the wrong one-man julep vacuum and pockets 9,550 boon dollars. Chump change for the genteel aristocrat Southern Colonel. Bathtub, level up for slaying the imp. The bathtub surges heroically and suppresses the wrong Archimedes Aqua Cradle, proceeding directly to the vaunted wrong Taft Jammer. The tub makes off with a cool 490 boon dollars. The tub's space and capacity remains unaffected. A safe, level up for slaying the imp. The safe was slain in battle. A great flaming nautical pyre. It carries it off to Valhalla. John, make your way up those stairs post-haste. You're not sure. They look pretty precarious to you, but you've been assured the stairs are perfectly navigable. Lads, scramble. Goddamn lousy stupid stairs. It's a friend! Dave, ignore little Cal and find the beta. You wander over to the place where your bro keeps his sweet turntable gear. Man, that setup is sweet. You feel pangs of jealousy whenever you walk by it. Really cool jealousy. Though, like the kind where instead of getting all worked up about it, you don't actually give a shit. One of your brother's rad and extremely expensive ninja swords is missing, though. You know this drill all too well. Trouble's a brewing. Dave, take expensive ninja sword. What sword? Dave, exit your bro's room. You approach the exit. There's something on the door you haven't seen before. Looks like one of your bro's ironic comics he left for you to check out. What have I done? Animal, please start breathing. Oh God, please breathe. Okay, make believe time is over. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. What will Nanny do to me if she finds out? No one can ever know. I have to hide the body. But where? Think, imagination. Ugh! The one time I really need you. Click. Hello, Rolf. I want to play a game. I want to play a game. I want to play a... Okay, some of this stuff, you know, he's just leaving around to get under your skin. This is obviously another point in his relentless siege of one-upmanship to get your goat. The same goat you've been meaning to bleat like, ironically, but that will still have to wait for a more appropriate time. You think he knows that deep down you feel like you're still not ironic enough to get stuff like this. And this is probably some weird gauntlet he's throwing down to see if you will get it. But honestly, you think this material is just a little too ironic. You just don't need to see this shit right now. Dave, go into the kitchen. No sign of bro in here either. Well, aside from the absurd quantity of awesome, dangerous stuff he leaves lying around. Dave, transfer katana to strike specialist. With an escalating sense of threat, you think it's time to shift 9, your katana 9 to your specialist. You figure it's better to free up the card anyway, since you might need to grab some of this stuff. Dave, set blender to mix. You guess bro stuck some fake blood capsules in that puppet. Pretty gross. You spot one of your bros' mini webcams nearby, recording the incident. It seems you may have just been an unwitting accessory to some sort of grisly puppet snuff film. You're not totally sure how you feel about that. Dave needs a better adult. His adult isn't a good adult. Dave, capture lock Buster Sword from behind microwave. This might be the only thing in the whole apartment that's a bigger piece of shit than your own sword. You put it back behind the microwave where it belongs. Dave, set blender to crush ice. It's just sort of bouncing around in there. You're making a bit of a mess now. Dave, hide evidence in microwave. See, like, his hobbies are cool and all, but you guess he's got to put his shit somewhere. But what if he just wanted to heat up a burrito or something? This kitchen is pretty much useless. Dave, grab those fireworks. You capture log all the fireworks. 2 + 1 + 2 + 1 + 2 + 1 + 2 + 2 + 2 equals 15 divided by 10 equals 5. The sink has to offer. You just know these are going to come in handy. Why would they be in the sink if they weren't? Looks like one of them is still stuck in the garbage disposal. Dave, capture log shurikens. You grab the shurikens 5 and hey, careful where you're putting stuff. Especially if you're looking to turn your Silodex into a powder keg full of sharp things. You put the box of fireworks 3 back into card 5 and prepare to start over. Or card 3 apparently. That settles that, you guess. Dave, take nunchuck. You take the nunchuck 3. Once again, grabbing without thinking ahead. First you capture log the box. 5 again, while adeptly avoiding the shuriken trap which you yourself set only moments ago. Do dodge. You again round up all the fireworks. Time to regroup here. Dave, capture log each shuriken individually. You grab each shuriken 3 at the same time, knocking out those nunchuck, but no worries, you got a plan. Dave, capture log nunchucks. You take the nunchucks 6. Everything seems to be in order now. It would have been badass to go with the authentic Japanese names for each weapon, but sometimes you just got to compromise with this modus. Dave, examine fetch modus. You flip your fetch modus and check out the back. You're not really sure where it is you're keeping this thing. Oh well, who cares? Dave, press eject button. Eject all items from Silodex? Yes or no? Oh hell no, not after all of that trouble you went through to get that stuff situated. This is potentially a very dangerous button. Dave, change to Scrabble points hash map. First you program your modus with a Scrabble points hash of function, adding it to the list. A = 1, B = 3, C = 3, D = 2, E = 1, F = 4, G = 2, H = 4, I = 1, J = 8, K = 5, L = 1, M = 3, N = 1, O = 1, P = 3, Q = 10, R = 1, S = 1, T = 1, U = 1, V = 4, W = 4, X = 8, Y = 4, Z = 10. This might be a cool function to use, but it looks like you'll have to empty your Silodex to select it. You're just not going to do that yet. No way. Dave, check the box, detect collisions. Okay. Dave, take the skateboard. And just what is this guy so happy about? What's he looking at up there? You think if you see one more soft bulbous bottom being like kind of jetting out and impudent or whatever, you're gonna fly off the handle. You take the skateboard. 6. Actually, no, you don't. A collision has been detected. You take the wheeled ride. Man, your inventory's no nomenclature is getting lamer by the minute. Dave, capture log the unplugged power cord. You take the power cord. 5. Wait, no, not going to work. Dave, think of a new word for power cord. You take the battery pack. 8. Damn it, you take the battery pack. 9. Using the Y as a constant. Your Silodex reluctantly accepts. It's a tactic notoriously employed by hash map nudes, but you just don't care about that now. Besides, it's not like your bro's around to see. Bro. Dave, search for some snacks, yo. Oh, it was just a little Cal again. You can never stay mad at him. Anyway, you've got to get this way-brewed hunger under control. You figure you ought to scope the fridge for some grub. This hunger is so ill-mannered it would make a room full of snooty dowgers commit mass suicide. Dave, open refrigerator. Oh god, more shitty swords. Of course you knew these were in here. You're not even sure why you looked. If you want to keep any food or beverages in this apartment, you've pretty much got no choice but to hide stuff away in your closet. Dave, take swords. The hell with it, you try to take the entire jumble of unbelievably shitty swords and brace yourself for. Looks like that works actually too. You capture log the jumble of unbelievably shitty swords. Dave, use Ice Maker.
For story people, comedy people, curious.
Dave, use Ice Maker. It's still hot around here. You dispense several cherry bombs. Wait, who's that looking at you in the reflection? Where'd the little dude scamper off to this time? Dave, capture log cherry bombs. You go for the cherry bombs. 9, unsuccessfully. After mulling it over a bit, you take the red spherical salutes. 1. Dave, take blender. Blender 2 is a pretty simple word, and you can already tell that's not going to work. Instead, you take the whirling blade pitcher. 4. That's actually a much better name for it anyway, you think. Dave, activate garbage disposal. Dave, stuff down Mr. Purple Guy into the garbage disposal. You're still not sure what he's so happy about or what he's looking up at there. While you're at it, you dump the contents of the blender. Oops, I mean whirling blade pitcher into the disposal. But you suffer an unfortunate garbage disposal head jam. You notice something in the reflection, something above you. Hello, Dave. It's the hatch to the crawl space above your apartment. Bro's always tucking away in there when he's bursting out his red stealth stunts. He's so slick that dangling cord never even jostles. You just know he's being ironic with these weird mind games. There's no way anyone could be serious about apping those shitty movies. Dave used the turntable and cinder blocks to make a fork. That's a pretty sweet fork you just made, and you're pretty sure your brother would agree. Under different circumstances, you might be high-fiving over it right now, but rather than get inside and take her for a spin, you really just need to use it to get up to that hatch. Dave, yank cord. It's time to face your destiny. No going back now. Hello, Dave. Burf. It's falling and touching me. Yeah, there was pretty much no way there wasn't going to be a bunch of puppets in there. Okay, wait, hold on. Why am I getting this stupid game for you? You're the one who should be wrist deep in puppet ass. What is the specific problem? The problem is I'm up to my goddamn neck in fucking puppet dong. You know you like it. The mannequin dick. Accept it. I'm enrobed in chafing, wriggling, god fucking damned puppet pelvis. An obscenely long, coarse Kermit cock is being dragged across my anguished face. Let's put this into perspective. You put up with the puppet prostrate because you love it. Also, coarse is a good word. You don't seem to harbor any sympathy for the fact that I've burrowed fuck deep into lively fluffit muppet buttock. I'm rolling in the terrible cyclone of the epicenter of my own personal holocaust of twitching foam noses. It's like a fucking apocalypse of perpy probises here. Like the probis apocalypse. I guess. Are you going to start rapping about this one? No, listen. Prolong a flesh bereft of home, found solace twixt a cleft of foam. No, oh Jesus. Of apocalypse, your thoughts eclipse a painted pair of parted lips. The deer threw a kiss to stir the air that teases tufts of orange hair, and though faces flush in lovers' fits, hands snug and plush as gloves befit. Okay, Dickinson, if you can shut your perfumery trap for half a second, this is serious. I'm just saying, if I see one more soft bulbous bottom being like kind of jutting out and impudent or whatever, I'm gonna fly off the handle and I'm going to do some sort of acrobatic fucking pirouette off the handle and win like a medal or some shit. Then let's hope there will be a squishy derriere somewhere below the handle to break your fall. Dave, read the note on the hatch. Bro, roof now. Bring Cal. We're making it. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen. Dave bursts out of the puppet pile like the one. Dave, be the other guy. You are now the other guy. John, take dowels and sheets from bed and make a tent. This is so much fun. A huge waste of time, yes, but so much fun. Bloop. John, carve a totem out of the punched pogo card. You put the punched card containing the pogo ride in the slot and carve a totem from one of the correct side dowels. John, repeat the process with other cards and dowels. You use the card containing the code for the hammer as well as the one with the random code you punched from the shaving cream card. For the hell of it, you carve the respective totems for the cards. John, do the same thing with captcha-log card. You make a totem for your captcha-log card. Pretty bare bones looking totem if you ask you. Rose, collect totems. You stow the totems in your atheum. Rose, produce captcha-log cards. The alchemister requires 1 unit of any type of grist to produce 1 card. You decide to use shells since it seems less generally useful than build grist as of now. You make a whole bunch of them. Whoa, did you just make all these? Yes, sweet, thanks. What did you do with all the blue wobbly vase looking things? I brought the totems out to the alchemister to test them. I'm taking some things into my own hands to save some time. Okay. You create a hammer at the expense of 2 units of build grist. You make a pogo ride too, minus a 5 bill 1 shell. You use the totem carved with the random code. You create a rocket pack with some random crap stuck inside. Looks like a cinder block, a violin, a flower pot. The items have rendered the device completely inoperable. You figure you might as well put this piece of junk to use. John, collect cards. Using a little strategy, first you grab Harry Anderson's Wise Guy by Mike Caveney, then the cards, then your ejected PDA, then the book again to flush the cards into your deck. Nice going. John, turn on detect collisions. You flip your fetch modi but find no such option. This is idiotic. John, read book. Be the wise guy. Harry Anderson, wise guy, from the street to the screen. The introduction, Who's This Wise Guy? Blood Loss and the Big Easy. New Orleans, 1977. The close-up room at the Magic Castle was this mean little box that tended to fill up with so much smoke you swear someone was cremating a wet dog in there. In walks Anderson. There isn't much that gets liquor to pause its journey from the table to my lips. But I'll be the bastard love child of a listless octoroon if that kid wasn't the cat that swallowed the canary in a dapper little hat. It looked like he was testing the tensile strength of his suspenders to the damn near limit with a pair of cocky thumbs. I wasn't impressed, but I was a fool. Somehow, in my motion for another beverage, he already slipped into a light conversation at the table held down by some notorious Brux's regulars. He had them in no time flat. They were melting butter in his glass ramekins. Whatever tidy yarn he'd spun to win them over, I didn't catch a word of it. One of them laughed. I was angry, envious, maybe a little. Yeah, you bet I was. Anderson had one of those little wooden finger choppers that Mickey Hades used to steal, the kind where the blade could be removed and clearly shown. It was a very convincing little guillotine that did not look like a novelty store toy. Harry could get a guy to examine the chopper and then cut a cigarette in half. Then he held the guy's hand up and told the silly story. The story, of course, was artifice, a distraction for the guy and the audience while he worked his stuff with the chopper. It would have become that once his famous chopper trick was perfected, vaulting him into fame, fortune, and the crowning position in the television judiciary. With what became his signature, a palm, Anderson was in moments a font of breast pocket gauze, profuse apology, and redoubting determination. It's really amazing how hard it is to find a bloody sausage-sized piece of a guy on the floor of a room that dark and smoky. Impossible, I think we all proved. Just as impossible as the blind Willie Buttermilk Stubbs was going to find it to work his trumpet tomorrow night without his twiddling fingers. You never really understood what Caveney's relation to Anderson's was, or why he wrote this book about him. His ambivalent attitude toward your favorite magician in these anecdotes always struck you as a little weird, and to be honest, you tend not to read much of the text in the book. You mostly like to look at the diagrams for all the cool tricks. Okay. I think we're gonna end the stream here for now. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, my homie G-Dogs.